The idea for the hoodie hook, lame I know, the name is still under the works, came about because I have nowhere to store my hooded sweatshirts and I hate putting them on hooks because it warps the fabric. So I started off with a ball of clay, and I thought it'd be cool if there was an interchangeable plate so it's just not the same hook that you drill into the wall and then you're kind of stuck with. So to fix the issue of the warped fabric, a U-shaped hook would work the best because no one hangs their hooded sweatshirts by the tag inside or with a hanger. Sketching really helped me through the build process. As you can see, I sketched out each component that I would need to print out, and this is what I would follow for the first prototype. So I decided to print the base plate out first. There's 2 holes for 2 nails or screws to be screwed into the wall, and then here's the plate itself. As you can see, it does not fit at all. So that's why we have a second version. As you can see on the top, it's shaped a bit differently, so it would be flush with the base plate, but this one doesn't fit at all either. Alright, prototype number 3. This one should work. Oh yeah, it works, but it's way too loose. Maybe the next one will be correct. So here's prototype number 4. And the moment of truth? No, it's too big. Now we have prototype number 5. I can't believe it. This one should fit. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We did it, guys. But this is not secure at all, and if you were to put a sweatshirt on it and take it off, it would fly right out of the base. So to get an idea of how big the product would be in its entirety, I printed out a few components that mock the sketches that I made previously. So as you can see, there's like a stem on the plate now, the centerpiece, and the 2 arms that would swivel. So speaking of arms and swiveling, I needed to come up with a mechanism that would allow the arm to rotate at 4 different points and lock. I took inspiration from telescoping rods, which uses this kind of method. So here's a button lock, and as you can see, you essentially just slide in this button lock and line it up. Then when that's put into place, you can slide over the corresponding piece and it will stay secured, and that's how the rotation is achieved. Now onto the base plate and plate issue. Here's a crappy print, but there's 2 slots, and theoretically you should be able to squeeze in the sides of the plates and it should slide in and fit into those slots, but it's clearly the wrong dimensions and it was really hard to take out. So for the second version, I lowered the cutouts on the base. As you can see, I kind of broke it. But this one works better because I didn't just do the little cutouts, I just had them go all the way. And as you can see, it's not a perfect fit, but at least it slides in and locks. It's really secure. Alright, then we come to the final base plate. I put in little grooves so it's easier to get the plate out. Here's a test plate with the new prongs. This one slides in, but the prongs aren't cut the correct way, and that's why it doesn't sit flush within those grooves. So I thought, okay, great, the plate works, it's just the prongs, so I'll change the shape of the prongs, but wrong. It still didn't fit. That's why I ripped off one of them, just to make sure it was not the prong's fault, but the plate itself. So here we have the final one. I cut off the bottom a little bit, just to make sure it would sit flush, and it does. It's not perfect, but at least it doesn't fall out. In total, there are 5 components: the base plate, and the centerpiece, which has these 2 little buttons to connect the 2 arms. So here's the final version doing its thing. It works. It's definitely not as sturdy as I had hoped for. You can't really tell, but the arms are actually splitting because it's too thin. If I had the money, the resources, and the time, I would definitely build this in like some sort of metal or brass, but it is what it is. This is cool. I had a fun time. But yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for listening to me ramble about the process, and peace out.